And there's the lady of the hour.
What are you going to be doing? I've been trying to get her to come visit me. I asked him for that. I asked him if he had
Oh, there they are.
Yes.
Friends, it's a pleasure to welcome you all to this gala occasion. We have some special introductions before we pause for a blessing. Some of the particularly invited guests, in addition to our guest of honor, Hertudis Francis, is her daughter Sonia, who is sitting right here. Dalton Smith is a special invited guest. He was the one who interviewed Hertudis for her job in 1970. His prediction was she'd never last. But he was right. Look, see what's happening? Joyce Peterson and her husband Ray are here as our special guests, and Connie Thurber, and also Nicholas Waldron and his fiancée Lisa are here as special guests of Hertudis, and they can explain their relationship to Hertudis at some other point. I want also to mention that Dick Osterberg telephoned this morning, particularly asking that his greetings be conveyed on this occasion, and that while we'll have greetings from other people later on, another person who wanted very much to be represented at this time was our friend Ruhama. So I just wanted to mention that. Let us join together for a word of prayer, remembering that the calendar of prayer today asks us to pay particular attention to Amanda Shipman at the United Theological College in Harare, Zimbabwe, and the Howard University Divinity School, where our friend and colleague Larry Jones is the dean. Larry, as many of you know, used to be a very active and involved director for the Board for World Ministries. Let us join in prayer.
Okay, people, say something for Hertudis. This is for Hertudis. Say something for Hertudis. Wait for Hertudis.
Hi. How you doing, Hertudis? Come back soon.
Jerry.
I'll have another beer for you.
Not that kind of establishment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that Shirley was sitting at the table.
Say hi to Hertudis. Pretend she's in this camera. These are your best wishes. Sorry, Mr. Thinman. What's the answer? 2. Very good. Very good. Very good. That's why you're still in 4th grade and you're 16 years old. Yes, sir, Bob. We're having so much fun at Hertudis' retirement. And look at that delicious food. Lasagna. Jamaican style. Girlfriend cooked up with some fatback and pulled peas. And YGN and Rita W. I think we need some more readers on this one. Give my regards to Hertudis. Hey, folks.
That I usually get roped into.
Yes, sir, Bob, but see just how much of the video camera we can use, videotape. So we'll have none left for the show. Cake cutting.
Oh, watch out.
Can't see. Oops.
I didn't look up. It's all right. Just cut it right down, right across the middle. Okay? 1, 2, 3. There you go.
And that on the right side will be my piece. Hurrah, hurrah.
Thanks, Judith. Can I start?
Who is, okay, well, not this, I was laughing
Wow, what a cake cutter. Honored, esteemed guest. Excuse me, darling. More ceiling shots. Well, I gotta have a ceiling shot. There you go.
That'll be a typical Gina production.
That's right. You can't have a Gina production without a couple of shots of the ceiling. Oh, wait. There's the floor. Yep. Everybody, hello to Hertudis.
Hello, Hertudis.
Like she's right here inside the camera. There she is. How you doing? And boy, are we having fun or what? These folks. Oh, it's like dark. Okay, I guess that's enough people. Maybe even a bit too much. Hey, how are ya? Hey, kid. Guests again. Okay, that's it.
At great trouble and expense for your enjoyment.
The UCVWM Broadcasting System is proud to bring you another installment of the thrilling, the exciting, the amazing, some would say the appalling, show that's currently the target of a worldwide investigation. This show has been condemned by Morality of Media. It has been seriously questioned by the Southern California Conference. It has been totally rejected by the Biblical Witness Fellowship. And it is currently being financed by the Personnel Advisory Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to bring you This Is Your Life, starring the ever-unctuous Ralph Edwards. Ralph, come on!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this funeral party. This is your life. Well, folks, the woman we honor today is a true lady, a citizen of the world, a person whose good works are known far and wide. You might say that again. Right now, she's somewhere in this room, a shy, retiring person who shuns the spotlight. Ah, there she is. An enchanting smile on her face. An impish gleam in her eye. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has been waiting breathlessly for this moment. The moment when we say to millions of expectant people from far off Cuba to nearby Mount Vernon. This is your life, Hertudis Florelsa Reynolds Francis. Just kidding, friends. These hundreds of pages are the real story, filled with a great many secrets the world does not know about you. And we intend to spill them all. Not many know, for instance, that although you were raised on the lovely Caribbean island of Jamaica, you were born on that other island of Cuba, way back in 1877. In a sleepy little mountain village, the daughter of simple folk who earned their living as bandits, preying on unsuspecting travelers. And from your very earliest days, we have a surprise guest. Someone you've probably forgotten.
Bebita, Dios mío, yo que te traje al mundo, chiquitica, ¿cómo tú estabas?
Judith, that's the voice of the very midwife who brought you into the world.
tratando de darla, pero yo guardé un guineo todos estos años y aquí está el guineito que le traigo a mi nena. Yo le traigo porque ella es mi bebita favorita.
Okay, Carmen, that's enough. It's only a half hour.
¡Ay, me vestía esto! ¡Parece escándalo! ¡Dios mío!
Just sit down and shut up.
Judas Francis, in your very early years into a boy named Fidel, who dreamed a dream that you and he would overthrow the government one day, but whose dream was dashed for the time being when you moved to Jamaica.
But Judas, that young man, grew up to realize his dream even without you. And through the good offices of the Special Interest Section of the Common Ministry in Latin America and the Caribbean, we bring him to you now, out of your past and into your arms, Fidel Castro! Viva Cuba! Okay, Fidel, that's enough. We've got to get on with the show. Come on. Judas, when you were still just a little girl, you and your family moved to Jamaica, just ahead of the law. And you quickly became the island's biggest tourist attraction. Tourist attraction.
Where's Hertudis? Come on! Where is Hertudis? Where's Get a picture, too. Yes, he is.
Okay, folks. Okay.
Yes, Judas, by special dispensation of the Archbishop of Canterbury, we are able to have her here today. Her Majesty, Elizabeth II, Queen of England and a couple of other nations.
We are very pleased to greet you once again in the royal person. You, Hertudis, and we are of an age and have seen many, many things in the years and years of our lives. Many years ago, we came to this institution for another outlandish gathering to honor yet another of your people who also had served many years with your bizarre organization. Also, found that it was most important to return as Hertudis Francis, affectionately known to me as Tudor, is also honored. Therefore, we find ourselves here again, older, wiser, heavier, and richer, to show our affection for Tudor. If she will stand, the royal presence will give evidence of this affection, knowing how delighted she was at another unfortunate incident at our last visit to this continent, when all protocol was broken. Will you, to this cautiously, accept the royal hug?
That's enough, Queenie. Come on. Get on with the show.
Cheeky fellow.
You just sit your royal love Now, Judas, by this time, the police had found out that you and your family were the biggest rum runners on the island of Jamaica. So you had to make a fast getaway, this time to New York, where you were given refuge by the United Church Board for World Ministries, an organization known for its peculiar ideas, a sanctuary where the hunted could find a safe haven, a place the FBI always checked out first when looking for its 10 most wanted. You may remember the day, Judas, when you applied for a job at the UCBWM way back in 1970. You may remember the personnel manager.
Now you will remember too that that personnel Johansson, who asked you some really tough questions.
Oh, Mrs. Francis, is that some sort of groovy new hairdo you have?
Gosh, it's bad, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Let me explain what happened. This morning, I came here very early. I kept my rollers in because I wanted to look very bright for this interview. But when I checked the door, the ladies' room was locked. So I saw this gentleman, what's his name? Revenue? Oh, Bartholomew. He promised he'd stand by the men's room door so I could go in and change. He went, I put his briefcase down, and I completely forgot everything.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just have to make do with your curlers. Okay, so Mrs. Francis, I understand that you were a rum runner and that you had a little to do with Fidel Castro. Well, that's good. That's very good. So, what are your other skills?
Well, I don't do any typing. I don't do any filing. And I never answer the telephone. All I do, I count the money that comes in from donations, and I just sit and look beautiful and drink tea.
Why, that's just what we're looking for. Tell me, is that like an alias?
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But what is this? A character reference check or a job interview? What would be the point of my having an alias if I went around broadcasting it to everyone?
Point totally taken. Now, you can rest assured, though, that your secret would be safe with me because we at the UCBWM thrive on shady and or controversial characters. Well, take me, for instance. I'm a Swedish political refugee. Now, in my country, lots of people just love to get their hands on me. Unfortunately, not one of them is that handsome Sven Jorgensen. Oh, body. Sorry. So, I came to this country, I moved to the San Fernando Valley to lose my accent, and then I disguised myself as an overweight black person. my fabulous blonde hair.
It's blonde to be true.
What?
But it's certainly not your color.
What?
I said I just love the color.
You know, I was buxom once, but it sort of sunk. Well, anyway, it says here that you most recently resided in Jamaica.
That's correct.
You know, I've always wanted to visit Jamaica. I've heard so much about Queens. But you know, I have been to Brooklyn, though. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, Mrs. Francis? Like, what makes you tick?
You have my resume right in front of you, man. Can't you read?
This, like, just has, like, your job skills. I look good and dress well. But tell me about you, Mrs. Francis. Like, do you have any children?
Isn't it illegal for you to ask that question?
Not yet. It's only 1970.
Well, I'm married. I have 4 wonderful children.
Uh-huh.
They weren't happy with my rum running, especially when our house was being raided every other weekend. So, they encouraged me to leave Jamaica and come here.
So, you think it's safer to run rum in Manhattan than in Queens?
No, I mean Jamaica. Jamaica West. Oh, forget it. Anyway, I don't do the rum running anymore. That's why I came here to get a legitimate job.
You came here for a legitimate job?
Well, I heard this place is a great front. The biggest con artist could hide up here. Besides, where else could I get a fantastic, high-paid secretarial job with my skills?
High paying? Think not.
Well, all I have to do here is look lovely. And lovely is what I do best.
Same here. Do you really think I know anything about personnel managing? I was just hired for my fabulous looks. Although I can't say that they'll hold that same criteria in the future. So, tell me, what are your other special traits, Mrs. Francis?
Well, I'm very punctual.
Uh-huh.
As a matter of fact, I arrived here very early this morning to make sure I could get a good free parking space. I sat there for over an hour. Came out and moved this car so I could park. I wonder if he leaves at that time every morning. Maybe I could time it so that I will always catch him and get that space. Oh, that reminds me. In a few minutes I'll have to go out and use my car. Don't want to get a ticket, you know.
Well, I think some people want to get to that habit. Imagine doing that every single day. I mean, picture yourself like 20 years from now doing the same thing.
I wouldn't have to if you paid me enough to afford a space in the garage.
Well, gee, on second thought, I wonder if he does leave at the same time every morning. Oh, well, okay. And speaking of 20 years, where do you see yourself like 20 years from now?
Probably in a plastic surgeon's table. But I have a question, Mr. Hurst.
Uh-huh.
What kind of benefits do you have here?
Benefits?
Yes, like health insurance, life insurance.
Benefits?
Yes, vacation leave, sick leave. Well, forget the sick leave. I never use those anyway. Tuition assistance, pension.
Benefits?
Yes, crazy woman, are you deaf?
Well, we have a lot of really neat social organizations. As a matter of fact, I just started one myself. It's sort of like an offshoot of the UCC's Church Women United. It's like a CWU for the more modern day woman, you know, more 70s. I call it Church Chicks. Would you be interested?
No. I want to know what type of real benefits you have here.
You mean besides anonymity? Well, we have indoor plumbing now, and most of our offices have wall-to-wall floors. And, well, you get a lunch break, unpaid, of course, but we supply the coffee, the hot chocolate, the tea.
Did you say tea?
Yeah.
You supply it?
Yeah.
free,
Uh-huh.
all I can drink,
For sure.
I'll take the job.
I haven't offered it to you yet.
I said I'll take the job, woman.
Okay, okay. You got the job. Okay, well, let's now talk about your salary, okay? Now, we here at UCPWM have a very intricate and precise method of figuring out your salary. Why, I can calculate it right here in front of you if you like. So first of all, we start with the current minimum wage, which is about $1.75 an hour. Okay, we multiply that by the price of tea in China, minus 14. Let's see, divided by the square root of pi over the year is 1970. Multiply that by, what's your shoe size?
9.
By 9. Minus the approximate dimension of this room in meters times 4. Divided by, what brand of soap do you use?
I use Zest.
Zest, okay, that starts with a Z. That's the 26th letter in the alphabet. K divided by 26. Okay, then we factor in 2 points for your rum running. 3 points for your fling with Fidel. That figure from 252. And divide that by the original figure, which was our current minimum wage, $1.75, and that makes your salary $1.50 an hour.
$2.
Okay, okay, 160.
$2.
165 and no higher.
$2.
Okay, you dragged it out of me. Minimum wage, and that's it.
I said $2.
How about 2 1/4?
Now you're talking.
I'm not expecting to change in the next 20 years.
What?
I said I'm so glad that you're here.
I have just one more request.
Uh-huh.
I absolutely, positively must take a tea break at precisely 10 o'clock every day.
Okay.
Not a minute sooner, not a minute later. Do you know what happens when I don't have my tea break?
Like, no.
I become a wild woman. Wilder than you could imagine. You really wouldn't want to see that?
I'm too sure. Now, like, would you be able to start immediately?
Yes.
Oh, far out! You'll be working for that darling Mr. Dalton Smith. He's just right fresh out of jail. Yale. He's a swell guy he is. But listen, if you're really lucky, maybe someday you might be able to work for that big, handsome Miles Wahlberg.
Wahlberg? Who's he?
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice that big, tall, handsome hunk of a man with those groovy plaid bell-bottoms.
Oh, the big guy.
Isn't he just a living end?
Yeah. I guess you could eat in front of him.
I think he's the real city Brazil. He just flips my wig.
By the look of things, that wouldn't take much effort. And another thing, Miss Johannesson, if your skirt was any higher, we would see what you had for breakfast.
Maybe someday you'll be able to work for that Miles Wahlberg. Maybe. Just get the door crossed. Thank you, Mrs. Francis.
And he was able to devote more time to vacations and travel abroad, knowing his office would be in good hands.
And now, 21 years later, you've reached the time of retirement, and Mr. Wahlberg himself is here with us to remember all those years that you stood guard outside his inner sanctum.
Yeah, nobody tells me anything. I didn't know you were retiring. I'm always the last person to know anything. Well, Hertudis, that little vignette that we just saw that happened 20 years ago, there's been a lot of water under the dam. Hertudis and I go back a long time together. We are so old we remember when T-shirts were underwear.
rather than the human bumper stickers they are now. One of the dimensions of Hertudis' life, which is not well known on this floor, is her relationship to her church, which is really very close and warm. Hertudis has been very active, and her church, along with the churches in the United Church of Christ, have been losing members, and Hertudis has been very concerned about that. So Hertudis decided that rather than count on voluntarism, she would start a new movement, and it would be called Draft for the Army of the Lord. Since there was a Salvation Army already in existence, she wanted to establish some Salvation Marines. But that didn't go very far, probably because her church was so liberal that it was only open on Tuesday. Hertudis was distraught once when things hadn't gone right in the office, and so she prayed for divine help, and during that prayer she heard a voice whisper to her saying, "Take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning." She really didn't count on having such smart kids. She was raising those kids. She told me once that when her son Bobby was just a tiny infant, and Sonia was just a young child. Of course, Sonia went to Sunday school. And Sonia came home from her Sunday school class one Sunday and asked when Bobby, her baby brother, was when she had the book of Job, and it says, "And Job cursed the day he was born." We've gone down that road together, Hertudis, and we'll be remembering it in a different way in just a moment. But before that happens, Ralph Edwards has one more presentation.
Hertudis, the final secret we're going to reveal today is the new career you're about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, she started out as a child bandit on the back roads of Cuba, went on to rumming and rum. Right off the chart. Yes, folks, Hertudis has secretly begun a screen career. In her retirement years, she hopes to remake all of Carmen Miranda's old movies in honor of her midlife. Hertudis, we've seen your life up till June 21st, 1991. Now let's take a look at the new life you're just beginning as we watch a clip from your first big musical, The Lady in the Tutti Frutti Hat.
Some people say I dress too gay, but every day I feel so gay. And when I'm gay, I dress that way. Something wrong with that? No. A lady come and tell me that my heart is
We've been together for a long time. We've worked together. We've supported each other. We have criticized each other. Often it's been a joy. Once in a while it's been a pain. We have lied for each other. We've really gotten along very well. I will miss your even temper, your faithfulness in your tasks. I will miss your professionalism in your tasks, particularly your sense of humor.
your utter frankness when you want to correct me about something. It will not be the same without you. It may be better. But it won't be the same. We have here from all of us and from the UCBWM a check which we hope you will use to indulge yourself in something you've always wanted and always been afraid to spend the money to get. Now you have the money to get it. We have a card here that I see comes from Irene Campman. We have a card here that comes from Grace Yamaguchi, all of the friends of the past. Here's one that comes from everybody that's around on the 16th floor now. And we have a little certificate that announces the kinds of the devoted and competent service for what looks like nearly 21 years that we want you to take with our blessings, our thanks for your many gifts to the board over all these years, and our best wishes for the future.
I'm hard to talk right now, so all I'm going to say thank you all for coming. I really appreciate all of you.
One last presentation. The 10 o'clock coffee, tea, banana group decided that in Hertudis' honor, we're going to establish a new degree, an award for the staff person of the year. We're going to call it the Golden Banana. And so Hertudis is going to be the first recipient of the Golden Banana Award.
Special plastic bag.
Here's your Golden Banana.
Thank you, one and all. Well, that concludes the program.